Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together the Winter Wheels car, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. So here's the pieces of this little car, which is also a little box with a lid. The roof is the lid. So here are the little acetate pieces. So I'm going to actually put them in here, and these are all my really small pieces. So I don't lose them because they're see-through. I already dropped one. Almost lost it. Here's the roof, and then we have some panels. Now I'm going to include them, but you know, it's optional to you whether you want to use them. So I'm going to use only the side ones on this one today, but I included the top. Somebody wanted it, the top and back. And then we have the rest of the car panels, so the car pieces. So let's go ahead and put together the wheels. So we'll start, let me just move this. I'm just going to put this on there so I don't lose them, so I'll remember where it is. And here's a version of the car. It's slightly different because this is a little bit lower, but there's a version, and now I have a different color here, but you can always do it solid color, so it's an option. So the front. Oh, so we're going to start with the wheels. So let's put that aside. Let me just dump this and see what's... Actually, I don't need everything in here. So we're going to go ahead and piece together the... I'm going to get this piece of white paper to help us. So you can see this black, the black pieces. The wheels or tires. I have to pop that out. And these are all the portions of the pieces of the tires, and those are the lights, but we're going to use some big rhinestones. And then that's the side of the card, so it looks like we have them all. I just want to make sure we have them all. So how we're going to do this is just layer this on this. So each tire, and then each tire is going to look like that. So we're going to do that first, so we have those ready to go. And then for this, you want to, if you're just going to use the paper to do the lights, this fits right there, and the lights fit on the left and right. So I'm still going to put them on there, even though I'm going to add larger, I'm going to add these to the top. I'm going to show you. But I'm going to still center that. So you can just go ahead. I'm going to let you watch me do this. I need to fix this a little bit. So here's a little tip if you haven't seen this before. I just have a little miniature nail file, and sometimes you get a little piece of hangy paper. If it's really small, you can use that to get it off. So, but I had a little bit bigger one. So without any more hesitation, I'll go ahead and put these together. So now we're going to go ahead and take the these pieces and take these panels. So these panels are different. So take these two, one for each side of the car, and we'll go ahead and add these panels first. So if you don't want to use them, you just do a solid car. That's up to you. So I'm going to use them on the side, but I'm not going to use them on the top and bottom. But you want to put that down first. Well, I'm using a really thin pattern paper that I got a long time ago, so it's kind of inexpensive. But I wanted the colors in it. So there's only a very small outline, so just watch the top and the sides there. Try to center it best you can. We'll do the other one first. So I have to be careful how heavy-handed I am with the glue. So if you just wanted a solid card, just omit these. And I am using art glitter glue. And mostly American Crafts cardstock. Actually, I think most of the cardstock is American Crafts this time, other than the metallic here, which is the die cuts with the view. I'm not even sure if they carry it anymore. So now we'll go ahead, let's add the tires, or wheels, whatever you want to call them. You either add the glue to this, and then just place it in its little area. So I just put it lightly, and then just make sure I line it up. It's not perfect. So that's really trying to keep it easy. If you do like our videos, I always ask if you could give us a little thumbs up and or to like the video and or subscribe. It is much appreciated. So once we get the tires on, let me just kind of rotate that to, there's a flaw on that tire, so I want to move it so it's not as noticeable. So we can go ahead and add, so you'll notice here there's fenders and they match the shape. So see that and that, the front and back, and you know, see alternate on the other side, so fit them in. So that goes right here, and it goes slightly above the tire or wheel, since I'm calling it winter wheels. And then it matches up on the other side. You can see there's a little dip on each side to show you where to place it. I really wanted to do this. I've been thinking about some kind of a whimsical car to go along with a couple of the houses that I just created, which is the Polar Place and the Chili Cottage. So I think I'm just going to continue doing some new houses over the years and see if I can create my own little whimsical village. That's the plan, so see if I can stick to it. Then in the middle of the tires, I'm actually going to put a little like enamel dot type thing. Actually, it's an enamel dot from Doodlebug Designs. They have different sizes. Sometimes I don't use them all, so this is the front right here, the way it's angled in the front. So on each side, that's the front. So the way you want to put the this is the door. You kind of want to make sure it's centered up and down, and then kind of left and right. So however you put it on one side, just you might want to make sure you do it the same distance. At least that's what I try to do. So I'm just eyeballing it. And then I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to add a little, another little flattened like pearly, it looks like an enamel dot. And this one I'm not going to put that, but this is what we're going to use. And the reason I'm not putting it on, so as we have to attach them, then we don't have to deal with any kind of bulk. So next thing we want to do is to flip these over, and we have these. If you use them, you can use the acetate windows, which are just clear. I'm using transparency sheets. The ones you want to use are the ones that are shaped like this for the sides. And I'll show you where the other ones go in a moment. But they're just going to go inside here, and they'll be hidden once we glue it to the car. So I would just put a little bit of glue around, like that. Center it. I didn't get quite close enough down here, so I need to get closer on the top there. I just don't like to get too close to the opening, just in case you have to adjust and you don't want that glue going into the window. So I have that wet paper towel to be able to get my fingers dry. So there's, because I intended this to be like it could be a little gift box since it has a little lid. So I'm going to put that to the side and do the same one. This time we'll get closer. Which I didn't go quite close enough, but that's okay. We're going to add glue to it anyways. So that one's done. So these other two, we're going to take this piece, and we don't need to fold it yet. So let's just add this. No, this is not the one. Darn it. This is these two. So let's take this out of view because it's causing some focus issues. So these two, you need these pieces. So I would fold this. I might as well fold it all at the same time. So this is the back. I'm going to fold that back, and I'm folding it now so we don't have to risk getting glue on the insert. So if you don't want it, you can always skip this step. Let's do that one first. So I'm going to take the vellum that started tearing on me, not vellum, the acetate. So it fits like this, just like that. So let's use this. We're going to attach it to this. So this is going to go on the inside. Like that. It's not as big as the area. This little opening is a little wider. We'll go ahead and place it like this. I'm going to go the other way because of that tear. You can see where you need to put the glue, just right here. So let me show you. So this is literally just a panel to hide the panel, so you don't see it on the inside. So you want to match it up on the edges because this is slightly less wide than the back, so it'll fit in there. Got a little bit of glue, but I'm not going to do anything. It'll dry clear. My experience with this is that if you try to get it off acetate, sometimes it actually causes you more problems. So we're just going to do this, just lightly. We're adding this panel. And you kind of want to match it up so you can see a border. So on the other side, so these are all clear. Match it up at pretty much the top, and it doesn't affect any of the folding. So we'll do the same on the other side. So as you can see, I put that in there, and you see I lined it up there. Just make sure it's good and secure. And then the other thing is, this front, you can curl it on the edge of your desk, or you can do it like this to help pre-curl it. Because I didn't put any score lines in there, but this is to get that round front. So do the best you can to do that. You can use a tool, or I just think my hands work the best for those kind of things. So now we'll go ahead and start putting it together. So we're going to have to be really careful with this piece, and I'll show you why. There's a score right here. See right here? You're going to fold it just like that. And we don't want to fold those. So you're just going to fold those. It gives it extra support, so if you put a lot of candy or something in there, it'll hold those, it'll hold it up. So I like to do that, and we'll have a panel to cover that. So I just want to pre-fold that. So the other thing we want to do is to start getting this glued on. So we have to decide which one's the front and back. So this one with the little, these two little tabs right here, is the back of this. So that's the front. So we're going to put this, glue this to the back of this. So let's do it like this to make it stronger. And we're going to glue the tab to the bottom. So I'm going to make sure it's good enough, pretty good crease there. Make sure I have the back. And I'm going to line it up to this section. Make sure you can see that. I'm going to turn it around real quick. So I usually do that just to make sure. But first I had to make sure it was centered here. And I put it on the wrong side. So there's my blooper for the day. So it needs to go on the bottom. So you could put it on the top. I just all of a sudden I realized that the texture wasn't in the right place, because we want the texture on the outside. Fortunately, I'm not So we'll go ahead and glue this, line this up. You kind of have to know where the folds are. It's hard to see from that side. That's not going to happen to you. So I'll make sure it's good and secure. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll do it right the first time. And if you need to pull that up to find out where the edge is, just do it slightly so you can know where to line it up. I'm just going to lightly place it, flip it over, validate it's in the good spot. It is. So you can tell it's centered. If it's slightly off, it's not going to cause too many problems. So I'm going to do the front first. But so we're going to put these on first, and then we'll put these the side panels on after that. So how you want to do this is just make sure they're good and folded well. I'm just going to put them out. I'm just getting them trained. We're going to flip this up, and we're going to glue it like this. So this needs to be folded this way. So that's a valley fold. It's going to fold around like that. And that's going to sit in there. So how we're going to do that is I would just do the 4 bottom ones. It's going to be the same on the other side. So when we do this, we're going to want to get that in the corner. See that? So what we're going to do is kind of flip them down, and you would flip all of them down so they don't, none of them get crushed. And we're going to flip it over, and in here we're just going to slide it under. So you can see I'm sliding those tabs under. Let me get this out of the way. You see it? So you want to go around. Some of the glue wore out because I was trying to get in the right. It's not as hard as it seems, it's just the angle that I have to get to show you. You see how it goes underneath there, and I'll show you the other side so you can see it. And that's what it does. Those are the tabs. And then we'll finish off by doing the same here, all the way up. So this may be slightly taller, but that's okay. It's just because of the, if you don't get it all the way into that corner, which I didn't go like 100% in, the back and front will be slightly taller because it's the same process. This is way easier because you can just do that. And I'm still going to push it into that corner to see if I can get it further in. And then it lines up. So I'm going to do that on the other side. The same exact thing. See if you can see this any better. So it's going to be like that. So you can try to reach in, but your hand, depending on how big your hand is, you may not be able to reach in. So I'm going to flip it upside down. And because I'm really right-handed, I'm kind of flipping it. Not that I was going to be able to show you that side, but so you can see. And then we'll finish off this. So we're going to do the same thing on the back. So the back may be a little bit more challenging. So this gets easier with time. It might seem like it was a struggle, but really actually it's not that bad. It's just me trying to get a good angle to show you on the camera. And just be careful of getting your fingers on the acetate, on the acetate. You might get glue on it. That's always the thing when you add that. So this isn't the same concept. The only difference is you're going to have to reach in and try to get it connected. So what I found works best, especially if you have a window in, you can try to reach in. There's a little hole there too. You can use that. Just as long as you don't rip it. Oops, wrong side. I was thinking glue and all of a sudden I just added glue to the wrong place. So let's see if we just get this bottom one anchored. So I'm just reaching in to that hole in the bottom. So my finger's in there. And what worked for me was to add glue to the other tabs. I'll show you a different way too, so you always get options. When you go like this, get it in the corner there, and then flip that down. That would work on the other side too, and then do these last. Just make sure they're good and secured so they don't come apart. So those holes are handy. The other way is to start with this. So I'm making sure these are good and folded. So we're just doing the bottom part first, because the top is, you already know how to do that. So I'm going to add glue to all three though. Get them ready. All four. I said three. So you could start with this one. Just trying to get in the corner. That's what you get when you're trying to show on the camera. As I'm holding that, make sure those flipped out. Forgot to make sure that, so you don't pull on them. And then you can do that one, or reach in, or use a tool like a chopsticks to get some pressure behind it. So you can use something like that instead of your hand, but it is kind of an odd angle, especially without the windows open. With the windows open, much easier to get in there. That's always the case. So we're just going to add these around like we did the front, and then we'll move on to the next step. So now we glued those, right, the back ones, the tabs, just like we did the front. So we still have the lid to do and to put these on. So let's go ahead and finish the actual, we'll do the lid last. So if you wanted to, you can, there's two different sizes, let me show you. Let's say my thing wasn't cutting quite right. One's longer than the other. So the longer one goes to the front. So you could just put them like this. It has a little edge on both sides. If you wanted to put a color to it. With stripes, I'd be careful because obviously this would be a better application with a kind of a evenly patterned. So you'd probably want to just glue it around like that. I would start at the top, center it if you do it like that. I personally like it without it, but I know some people like panels, so I just am including them. So we'll go ahead and put the sides on now. So again, be careful with the wheels. So actually before, let's go ahead and hide these. So I'm not worried about hiding the inside because you can't really see them that much and it really doesn't make a difference. You can kind of see the cutout holes, but this will clean it up on the bottom. So you just want to watch those wheels so you don't crush them. First time I made it, I kept on forgetting because I've done designs like this before. And a lot of people have my little treatmobile, which is similar. I just don't cover the bottom in that freebie. So that cleans it up, hides the tabs. So this one, this is slightly bigger. So there's a lot of things that you want to match up the windows, but I didn't glue it flush up here, just so you know. So it's jutting out just a little bit, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead, and you can add glue on here, and that probably will be best. We'll just do that. Just all the way around the edge. Then the best thing is just to match up the tires or wheels, whatever you want to call them. We'll just keep on calling them wheels. So match them up to here, and everything else should come together. As long as you put it on the correct side, by the way. Oh, I had it on the correct side. Never mind. It wasn't looking correct from this angle. So once you get it on, what's nice is that you can do this. High pressure here. And the bottom you could always reach in, and or you can reach in with your hands. So there it is. So we'll do the other side. This time I'll be a little bit more. My mind went wandering for a minute. Don't let your mind wander while you're doing something, especially something like this, where you have to do it specific way. And I allowed my mind to go there. I can't even tell you what I was thinking about. So line them up. Line that up to the back there. What's nice is that the back is straight, the front is curved. And like I said, this is slightly larger, so it will hide the tabs. So there we go. Then we'll go ahead and pop this on the front. Make sure it's not upside down. Centering it. And then I'm going to pop a couple of these inexpensive rhinestone embellishments that I got with the little Christmas set. So I didn't need the white background, but I kind of wanted the white edge. So if you don't want that, you could always just pop up the little cardstock, or just use the cardstock. The glitter cardstock is a thing would be fun with, is always nice for little headlights. So look at the little headlights. So as that dries, let's go ahead and we're going to put our little embellishments on. Normally I do this afterwards, but since I had them all here, I'll just do it now. We have this for the door. So I'm just going to put it right there. Well, that's just a melted perler bead. I'm putting that on first because it has to stay. Then let's see. I just put those in the middle. So there's all sorts of little ways that you can embellish it to make it fun. A fun little gift box. Got a little glue off my fingertip there. So I'm just going to flip it over, make sure those are good and dry. I have some foam tape on the back of this. Just center that. I think I'll go a little higher. You can go down lower if you want to. We'll do it more like a real bumper-ish, except it's rounded. So I have to get it at my angle so I can make sure I'm centered. And then I'm going to add a couple little lights in the back with little rhinestones. I really enjoyed this car, so I had a lot of fun with the design. I'll have to keep this. A lot of times I won't keep things in my office, but it makes me smile to see this, so I hope others like it as well. So we'll finish this off and then we'll go to the roof. So these are those Doodlebug Design enamel dots. I know there's ways to make your own, but I just got a bunch of different colors one day. And they come in handy. So you see that was what's left of it. And the last thing we want to do, so we have got the front, sides. We're going to go ahead and make this roof. Then we'll get so I actually embossed this with, I think it's a Cuttlebug embossing folder, but Cuttlebug no longer makes embossing folders. But when you emboss, it does compromise the paper a little bit. So this is the American Crafts cardstock, and fortunately it's heavy duty, but it could compromise your folds a little bit. But so be careful if you do it. You just got to get used to it. So I'm just lining that out, that little tab, and lining it on the inside and lining it up at the edge and gluing it on the inside. We'll do the same on the other side. You'll want to hold it as long as it takes to get adhered. So it is a little bit different with embossed paper. Kind of have to hold it a little bit longer. So I just have a little snowflake pattern to get the theme, other than just the pattern paper. You could, if you have, I mean, everybody's got snowflakes. If you got snowflakes, you can add snowflakes to it if you want to really make it wintry. And there you go. It's just hold those in place. And so if you didn't want it to be winter, they could be, this is a card for just a whimsical card for a good like birthday box or something like that. You just, it looks like snow, but you could really use it for anything. So there it is. So you can determine which way you want it to go, whether the front to back. So I kind of thought, well, let's see, I put more snow on the front. Let's do a bit more snow on the back. A little tight fit because I didn't quite get it. So there's what it looks like. That's the back. And then there's the front. You can see the side. So I like it this way better on the sides. So it just kind of goes back. So I hope you like this project. If you do, please again give me a little thumbs up and or like this video, and until next time, thank you for watching.